Believe me, I'm as depressed as the next person that is 2020 and we're still having to talk about Gamergate. On the other hand, only by understanding that phenomenon in full can we make sure it doesn't get reproduced. The latest intervention to diagnose a postmortem of Gamergate has come from a prominent leftist YouTuber, Peter Coffin. In a pretty sloppily worded Twitter thread, Coffin concludes that Gamergaters justifiably felt alienated by the neoliberal fetishization of feminism and the reductionism of politics to identity themes. The whole thread is a bit of a mess, and I fully condemn any suggestion that Gamergate was justifiable. No, fascism is, but the overall analysis of the conditions that led to the events of 2014, if not viewed by a lens of bad faith, has a lot of truth to it. Coffin's argument centers around alienation felt by individuals that do not adhere themselves to the capitalism reproducing politics of the certain segments of the games industry. He does a pretty poor job in explaining how we got here and why was it that campaign against minorities in gaming has been happening long before Gamergate, i.e. active involvement by the far right. I also find his tendency of piling class politics against identity politics very troubling. The two are intimately linked, but he's correct in diagnosing that the conclusions reached by some are wrong, e.g. that to solve the conditions that led to Gamergate, we simply need more CEOs from diverse backgrounds and/or influencers wrapping our demands of a radical redistribution of power dynamics into a neatly packaged elements of lean-in, self-care-based, individual liberal feminism. The othering of the migrant, the woman, etc. are a crucial part of the capitalist method of survival and management. Of course, some diversity can be allowed as part of a profit-making exercise, but only to an extent to which it doesn't challenge the prevailing conditions of the exploitation of the Global South, for instance, in order to reproduce the current modes of production. As Donna Goodman writes, violence against women is a vestige of women's historic status as property, a product of the division of society into exploited and exploiting classes. It is a symptom of their continued subordinate status in class society. The same can be applied to race relations, meaning misogyny and racism are class issues. Liberal tendency to decouple those, very visible since the Coffin discourse has emerged, is a very unhelpful and ahistorical contribution. Only when we learn this can we be sure we're not repeating history again. In the meantime, the struggle continues. You just watched Life Left Up with me, Mariam Dejgalvite. Speak soon. Bye!